I finally got to see Forever Purge, which is a film that I was very anticipated about for quite a long time, alongside Space Jam: New Legacy. I did try to avoid as many promotionals and trailers as much as I can for this one because, from what I'm hearing through the grapevine, and not in a Marvin Gaye sort of way, they might do a sixth and a seventh installment, which would be, in my opinion, a terrible idea. He's just trying to stretch and milk a franchise to excess and to the farthest point it can reach, which I think only hurts and dilutes the film for what it wants to be, instead of letting it speak for itself and end it on a good note. That's what happened with Mission Impossible. That's what happened with the Fast and Furious franchise. That's what happened with so many others if you're not careful. So please, Jason Blum, don't do it. Jason DeMonaco, don't do it. I actually even sent an interview request to see if I could talk with DeMonaco about the film, or Everardo Gout, who'll be directing the fifth installment, but no luck. I guess because I'm not accredited is why I didn't really get the chance, but excuse me for a second. Thank you. Sorry about that there, but overall, I was very pleasantly surprised, and I was very happy to see what I hope to be the end result of the franchise. Even if it doesn't pack as much of a punch as first Purge, it is definitely one of the most violent, most action-packed, and most in-your-face with the message since number 3 and number 4 for election year and first Purge, which I thought were very good. And, over time they certainly got better than the second one and the first one. Maybe that's just my opinion, but that's, I hope someone else shares the same opinion as well. Essentially, this installment follows two illegal immigrants who are trying to find a better life in the Estados Unidos through, the Texas-US border. And they work for a man's ranch, and then she works at the meat processing plant until they realize eventually that the new founding fathers of America Party, Republicans, MAGA, Trump, eventually got re-elected, landslide, and they decided to bring back this purge holiday again and cause havoc upon those who are from the social margins of society, i.e. minorities, refugees, poor people, those who don't have health insurance, which America should legalize, but you won't do it anyways because you're bought and sold by Goldman Sachs. But getting back to everything, and what ensues here is extreme amounts of violence and racism and hoopla and chaos unfolding. Essentially, this is the film for the Capitol Hill insurrection generation and the COVID generation who feel lost and they have no sense of direction and feel like the only way to channel it through is violence. And that, my friends, is how you make a great film, not great social event, because I don't endorse acts of murder or torture or political assassination, even though you probably are thinking to yourself, wow, I wish I could kill that Joe Biden, or I wish I could kill that Obama or Trump right now, but no, don't do it. I swear to God, don't do it. Just watch this film and let your violent impulses filter through these Purge films, or playing fucking Call of Duty and Manhunt on Xbox. Getting back to what I was saying, if you definitely like action, this is definitely the one for you. This, it very much, in many ways, reminded me of Desierto, which was a film that is actually one of my highest views in terms of film reviews. I still even get like 10 or 8 views per day for that review of Desierto, which featured Gala Garcia Bernal as an illegal immigrant crossing through the US-Mexico border, La Frontera Mexicana y Estados Unidos. And it is definitely violent, although not as violent as this one was frequent, and it definitely packs a punch in terms of social and political commentary that definitely plays to a divided and broken generation. Having seen Forever Purge, this one definitely beats even Desierto to the punch as well. And there's also another film that I just saw just the other day called Nuevo Orden, which is pretty much the same thing as this movie, except it's from the Mexican perspective. It doesn't involve the US and depicts class warfare and racial warfare as well between indigenous Mexicans versus the more whiter European Spanish Mexicans. And that film was an 18 certificate for sexual violence, sexual threat, and strong threat. This is 15, but I think both should be the same rating or swap. These ones, New Order, Nuevo Ordeno, New Order, not the Blue Monday song, definitely what will get to your skin in terms of the commentary and the ideas. But the film, unfortunately for that one, was a bit loose and doesn't really know where it wants to be. But Forever Purge definitely makes the message heard and in your face about it. I'm sorry that have seen that this film had to be delayed because of the pandemic, but we finally got to see it for British and US audiences, full front and center, uncut 15 certificate, even though maybe an 18 would be more preferable, and with the social issues that are going on in the US and that Capitol Hill insurrection that occurred on the 6th of January 2021 in our minds. I know they've been saying on a few interviews that they've written this and made this without even knowing that that event would happen, but there you are. It's for everyone to see, and it is not ugly, it is terrible. And hopefully this will definitely be my sort of wake up, smell the coffee call after I, go see Space Jam, New Legacy in a while, but let's just hold the best for last. I know that new one's a bit more of a guilty pleasure, but just want to get off topic there. But if you're comparing it as a horror film, don't. It is an action film and a western in many ways with strong social commentary. If you thought 3 and 4 were action films, wait till you see this movie was complete and total chaos. I was definitely on the edge of my seat throughout. I would say that this is one of the best action films I have seen in a long time. And I'm definitely happy to say that. I know a lot of people won't agree with me in regards to that because it's not John Wick or it's not the way. Well, it doesn't have to be those films. It can be in its own sort of universe of its own. I even thought this was better than The Hunt, which was the film last year that got all the hoopla and kerfuffle surrounding that it was about all these hardcore liberal road types killing Trump supporters. Well, if that's the way you want to interpret it, go right ahead. You could even say this is from a socialist propaganda as well, which it probably is, but it's actually not, because it's actually pro-Second Amendment as you can get. It just has a social left-wing bent about it, but in terms of guns and also, trying to find for the American dream, la sueño americano, it's to be as conservative as you can get. So please try not to read too much into this, unless you want to see the world collapse on its own feet, and oh boy, will it ever. Now, please do not compare it to a horror movie. This is not Censor we're talking about, or Willy's Wonderland, which are pretty good films of its own right, but Censor is a psychological thriller, and it was still film censorship and classification and Thatcherism, which makes the sort of element that both films share the social commentary distinction, but Purge is in your face about it, while Censor uses a bit more metaphor, it's a bit more spatial and slower pace. It's not trying to be so in your face and over the top about it, which can work for some people, but it doesn't work for others. I don't really care. I just think that this is a great film. Please do not go see Fast and Furious. Please do not go see Conjuring or Black Widow or any of this shite. You just see a film that speaks to a broken generation as now, especially if you live in the United States or Mexico. You will definitely get a lot out of this, for better or worse. But please do not kill someone. I do not endorse violence on this film review channel, but if you do feel like your world has become broken because of the COVID pandemic and its economic and social effects and Black Lives Matter and all that, you want to go kill some right-wingers and promote a socialist uprising, don't take my word for it. Take Michael Moore's or Noam Chomsky's or Sean King, who posts a lot of the BLM tweets. Now, one could say, as far as criticisms are concerned, please do not make a 6th or 7th installment. Do not extend this franchise and milk it to death. Otherwise, on your heads be it. And if you're looking for, sort of like a pro-BLM sort of narrative, you're probably better off sticking with number 3 and number 4. This is more on the basis of sort of Latin American context that you see in films like Desierto and Sicario. It doesn't seem to talk a great deal about the sort of drug cartel violence issue, and there's no full-on scenes of torture or rape that we get in like Nuevo Orden, which I think would probably help the film in making it as nasty and as bitter and as violent as you can get. But this is Hollywood we're talking about. You're not going to expect something so hardcore that would get an X or an NC-17. You have to go a little bit deep down the grit to see something that's even more shocking. And as far as politics are concerned, this is definitely in your face. Please do not milk this franchise. I love it to bits. It's one of my favorite franchises in recent years. I don't think any other film can make it quite like this, except for Get Out, Jordan Peele, same production company, Blumhouse, in terms of making films that are very woke and very much in your face with the social subject matter, in terms of from a sort of thriller and horror, or in this case, action western standpoint. And also to some degree The Hunt as well. So yes, please do yourself a favor and go see this film, but don't encourage them to take it to the next level like they did with the others. And like I saw for a trailer for Halloween Kills, I just thought, stop it! Alright, peace. We'll see you next time for Space Jam and maybe a few other surprises here and there.